back to the channel, guys. This weekend you find us in Skegness. We arrived yesterday, but we didn't actually do a lot of filming because we spent most of the day travelling, and then the weather was pretty rubbish, so apart from a quick stroll on the beach to blow off the cobwebs, we didn't really do a great deal. Had a good night here, and we've woken up to, you can probably just about see behind me, blue skies and sunshine. So we've had our breakfast and we're about to head out, probably walk towards the centre of Skegness and just enjoy the sunshine and get out there on the beach. Our route did take us through the centre of Skegness yesterday when we arrived. We've never been here before, it looks like a fairly typical seaside town, sort of amusement arcades, fish and chip shops and stuff like that. Possibly not our scene, but what I would say is it was really busy. It's only mid-March, it was a Saturday, sort of lunchtime-ish when we arrived, but it was fantastic to see you know, a seaside town that was actually really heaving with people at this time of year. So you know, I think that's a really good thing going for it. There's a gate from the campsite that leads directly onto the promenade. This leads all the way into the centre of Skegness, with one minor diversion for around 400 metres where it tracks inland. Alternatively, you can walk all the way on this beautiful sandy beach. So we watched a few videos before we came out here that were basically claiming that Skegness was the UK's worst seaside town. Now, we've not been into the centre. That's, you know, probably not to everyone's taste, a bit like most seaside towns. To be honest, it may not even be to our taste. But you cannot really complain that much about a place with a beach like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Can't believe how gorgeous and sunny it is at the moment. It's also really warm. There's no breeze and the sun's just up there high in the sky, so at the moment it feels probably warm enough to not need the coat, although we're being a bit sensible in case it clouds over later on. But so far this is amazing. You can walk pretty much directly onto the beach from the campsite, and then we think it's about a 40-minute walk into the centre of Skegness, so we're on our way to do that. It will probably take us about 3 hours with needing to sniff lots of things en route. That's the dogs, not us. But yeah, so far so good. So what do you make of it so far?
Good to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Beach is good, isn't it?
Too hot.
Lovely sandy beach though.
Yeah.
Great for the little doggles. Our first port of call in town was the pier. We bought a pair of coffees here and sat and enjoyed them in the sunshine. Even the bins have character. The pier itself is basic, with all the amusements being on land, but that wasn't stopping a lot of people enjoying it on this day. Noting that there's a free and spotlessly clean toilet in the amusement arcade itself. I used to love this in Blackpool when I was young. I used to win quite a lot of the time as well, which helped. headed inland and met the jolly fishermen. As well as the usual amusements and fish and chip shops, there was also a really nice park in town, so we had a quick stroll around that. Then for some reason, I completely lost my mind. So, I'm now riding the Wild River. I don't normally do fairground rides and things like that. Oh my god, it actually looks quite high up. I'm thinking this was a really bad idea. Like, this is the low one. Oh my god. I thought this would be a right lap. Ah! Oh my god. And that was the low one. I'm soaking. I'm quite scared. Yeah, we're going up now. Oh my god. Quite good view from up here. Right. I thought this was going to be a piece of cake, but yeah, this is the whole one. And I feel like a right wuss now, but I can't stop it, so we're in there. Oh god! Oh god! What now? Oh god! Oh god! That was terrifying! Oh god!
Are you a bit wet? Is that from the water or the pier?
A bit both, I think. Oh my god, that was terrifying. After all that excitement, it was time for a reward. Then we sauntered back towards the campsite along the beach. The beach is great because it's wide and it's sandy. And if you like beachcombing, there's lots of shells to be found. There were also a lot of starfish that had been washed up, which was a shame, but at least it means that there must be lots of living ones out there. I picked up some bargain books from this charity stall near the campsite. Good morning from rainy Skegness. We had a leisurely morning in the motorhome because it was raining. It was quite nice to listen to the rain on the roof for a bit. So I got up, got packed up, and thought we'd head into town, park up. The car parks that we've seen so far seem to have height restrictions, but there's on-street parking here. It is limited to 2 hours after Good Friday, but obviously we're sooner than that. So yeah, just thought we'd get a bit of fresh air, maybe get a coffee, have some lunch in the wagon, and then hit the road home. But yeah, it's been a really good trip so far. Bit of a shame that the car park behind me has a height barrier and very clear signs saying no vans or motorhomes, because it's right next to the sea and it's huge. There's like something like 1900 spaces, some of which would look really reasonably sized for a big vehicle, and there's a handful of cars in it, so I imagine in peak season it's really busy, but it's a bit of a shame that people aren't allowed in off season, because it'd be a cracking place to park and it would give them some income if they're charging as well. It was time to enjoy the sandy beach for one last time before we made our way home. It's Monday today, and there are fewer things open, as you'd probably expect out of season, although more things seem to be opening up now. It's kind of lunchtime and it's dried up a bit. It was quite wet earlier, so that's probably got something to do with it. Still managed to get some of these bad boys to round off our trip. So, is Skegness the UK's worst seaside town, as people seem to have claimed that it is? I would say absolutely not. I mean, the town itself with the amusements and everything is obviously not to everyone's taste, but that's true of a lot of these seaside places. But actually, I surprised myself with how much fun we had when we did go into that part. I thought I'd just go in there to get a bit of footage for this video, but you know, we only spent 50p in the amusement arcade, but that went quite a long way and it entertained us. So yeah, even that bit was like surprisingly good. And in terms of, you know, getting your ice creams and things by the sea, it's great. The pier was lovely. The coffee that we had on the pier was really nice too. The people that we've met have been friendly. You've got that nice park in the centre of town. So I think people that call it the worst seaside town are being overly harsh. We've enjoyed our stay here. We were discussing this morning, would we come back? I think both of us have said yes. Not in peak season, but we probably wouldn't go anywhere in peak season because we don't like loads of crowds. But on the other hand, it is nice to see a town that is busy. It was busy on Saturday, it was quite busy yesterday, and I suspect in summer it is absolutely rammed, which, when you look at some of the sorry, I'm rushing because I'm trying to get these back to the motorhome. When you look at some of the places that are quite dead, even in season, it's actually refreshing to see one like this. Right, gonna leave that there and get these back to the wagon.